Welcome back, everybody, to We Talk Film. I'm your host, Barry, joined as always by Clayton, and we're back. Sorry for the long wait and everything like that, but we're back. The boys are back in town, as they say, and we're doing another episode of We Talk Film. We missed you all so much, but we've been busy, boys. We've been very busy.
We have. We will get into what we've been busy with at a later date, but we figured, you know what, let's just jump straight back in, pretend nothing happened, pretend everything's exactly the same, and that we haven't been disappeared. Yeah, it's not like we disappeared for 2 months or something like that.
Definitely not.
How long have we been gone for?
Like 2 months.
When was our last episode? 2 months?
Yeah. So, it's been a while. It's
fine.
It's fine.
But, it's fine. We're back. And to make up for it, we're going to do 2 movies today.
Wahoo!
One of them slightly older than the other, but don't worry about that.
It's fine.
Don't let that bother you. But before we get into our movies, we have some news, as always, to bring up. So, Barry, throw on us.
Yep, got it ready. It's still there. We got the news button still. It still works.
I was very surprised. I didn't forget what it sounds like, honestly. It's been too long. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yep.
It's going to be such a shitty episode because I just forget what happens next. We're going to get to the part where we talk about the movies, and we're not going to know how to talk about the movies.
Oh, yeah. It's like, how do we do this again? Why are we here?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Podcasting, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a lot of trailers over the last couple months. I'm only going to talk about the more recent stuff. Nobody really cares about old news. So I'm going to throw it over to what I think is the most excited I've been for a movie in a long time. And especially seeing the trailer, I've just gotten more and more excited. It is Nosferatu by Mr. Eggers, coming out Christmas this year. This looks very good, Barry. I know I sent you the trailer just after you'd watched it.
Yep.
It looks stunning. All the gothic horror elements, Willem Dafoe. It just... it's so good.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm like already like looking to like plan to book tickets for like as soon as it comes out, like day one. I thought like another film would be like my film of the year, but like this film just looks phenomenal. Like absolutely insane how good this looks.
It looks amazing. If you haven't seen that trailer already, definitely check it out because that movie looks just insanely good. It's a remake of a over a 100-year-old film, which is in turn like a weird remake iteration of Bram Stoker's Dracula book. It's this whole wacky thing. But Nosferatu, it looks really cool. We will definitely be covering that. We're not going to miss that one. Don't worry. Even if we disappear for 2 months again, we will come back just to watch that.
Just to do Nosferatu. Yep.
100%. Okay, next trailer that I'd like to bring up is one that I'm less excited for, but I'm still kind of intrigued. And this is Marvel's Thunderbolts Asterix.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on the Thunderbolts trailer, and why is there an asterisk on the end of the name?
I don't know. Maybe because it's like working title. Maybe I'm not sure. Because that's the thing. Even the logo they had for the trailer didn't look like a proper like made logo. It just looked like someone did that in Microsoft Word. It was just Thunderbolts asterisk.
It's so I don't know why. It feels like it's a working title that doesn't need to be a working title. If that's the case, it's like it's Thunderbolts. Call it Thunderbolts. Yeah, like you wouldn't call the Avengers anything else. I don't know.
It's strange. Sure. The movie looks like all right, I suppose, but like there's characters in there that I'm just already disappointed they didn't add. Like there's no Zemo in it. Zemo's not in this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's all like the B grade Thunderbolts. It's not comic Thunderbolts. It's just like side characters from Black Widow that show up. Yeah, which. I will say I do like some. I really love David Harbour. His Alexei, like the Red Guardian character is really fun. Yeah. It'll be cool to see him. I don't know. Maybe the movie will surprise us.
Sebastian Stan's back as Bucky. They're like, is that Bucky? Good. Wow.
That is Bucky.
He's got the long hair again. Know, dude. So
yeah, it looks really cool. He looks good. But he's good in all of the things. But he doesn't get much screen time. And hopefully they give him some time to shine in this. I don't know. Who knows? The next trailer is something that we covered on the show. We covered the first season, in fact. This is The Last of Us Season 2. We got a proper trailer for it.
It was?
Showcasing
I didn't see it.
All sorts of stuff. Didn't you see it? It was just scenes from the game, copied like shot for shot.
Fair enough.
And it looks gorgeous. Like, it looks good. I don't think this trailer could look any better than it does.
Yep.
I think that the new cast that they've added, it is pretty spot on. I'm very excited to see what happens, especially because they've said that they're not going to follow the games like the first season did. They're going to throw some curveballs at us or change something up. We don't know what that means yet. Considering the trailer was shot for shot the game, I'm even more confused about what they mean by changing the story. Or if they're changing, like, I don't know what they're doing, showing us more, giving us different scenes.
Are they not going to kill Pedro Pascal's character? I forget his name.
Who knows? Joel,
that's it.
Maybe. We don't know, and that's why I'm excited for this season. The first season was great. I think we gave it like 9s out of 10s on this show. Definitely go back and watch that. It was one of our first episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited. It's early next year, I think its release date is.
Okay.
Okay. One final trailer that I'd like to bring up, and this one isn't for everyone. It's a Disney Plus documentary called The Music of John Williams, showcasing basically his career through film, composing like some of the greatest movies ever made, and just a lot of behind the scenes stuff, looks into just how the music for a lot of films like Star Wars and Jurassic Park came to be.
Okay.
And I'm super into this. It looks so good. I'm definitely going to check it out. Probably won't cover it on here, but if you're interested in like film scores, composition, all of that sort of jazz, oh my god, definitely keep your eye open for this. I think it comes out soon, within the next couple months. I didn't write it down, but it looks really cool.
Yep. Looking forward to that. That sounds interesting. Because he's had such a long career now. He's like done everything. So.
Yeah. He's like 97 or something, and he's like only just stopped composing music. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Next bit of news. Sony. They recently announced a sequel to a video game that they put out called Ghost of Tsushima, a samurai open world experience. It was amazing.
Loved it.
They've put out another announcement after. Okay, so first thing, they announced a sequel to the game. They're doing that. But alongside that, they put out a statement saying they want to expand the franchise into movies, television, and more spin-offs. All at the same time. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. More samurai stuff. Give it to us now.
Oh, yeah. No, it's going to be good because I'm actually playing back at the moment Ghost of Tsushima and everything like that. It's such a wonderful game. Like, it holds up so well even today and everything like that. And then, they announced Ghost of Yotai, which is going to be based 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima and everything like that. But it's like kind of interesting because obviously they have been working on or are filming the Ghost of Tsushima film. So it's going to be interesting now if that, so Jake Sakai's character, the one you follow in the first game, if that's going to be part of like the movies they're going to do now is following him and like continuing his story through that way, and where the video games are just going to be like, all right, we'll go for a new character now and like different eras of like Japanese culture. So
no idea. Maybe they'll all be their own thing and they'll all just be like cool samurai stories.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll keep an eye out for what comes of that. Hopefully it's really cool. Next bit of news, and then I have a little funny story. But the first bit of news, this is a really cool thing that Barry got to go to over this weekend.
Yes.
I could not make it, unfortunately, but we got tickets to
so I stole
press
your ticket.
Screening. Yeah, you stole my ticket. Because I got tickets to the press screening of a feature film just coming out in a couple weeks called He Ain't Heavy, directed by one of our TAFE mentors, David Vincent Smith. And Barry, from what I've heard, it's definitely a film to see.
Oh, yes. Yeah. This has to be probably one of the best films I have seen this year. that is for sure. Wow. Yeah, this was a very impressive film. That is, yeah. So,
I'm so excited.
Obviously, I won't say much about it, but hopefully we will be covering here on the channel and stuff like that once you've seen it all and stuff like that. But it was absolutely a phenomenal film. And when it does come out, if you live in Australia and everything like that, or wherever you can find it, please do watch this film because it is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, 100%. It definitely. It comes out October 17th. in a cinema near you. Try and go see it. Support some local cinema, especially really great local cinema. I'm so excited to go watch it. We will definitely be covering it. And we may even see if we can get David on the podcast. That would be amazing.
That would be cool. That would be great.
But I'll try my best. No promises. Okay. Moving over. We have a wacky story.
Another wacky story. Yippee.
The director of Men in Black, Barry Sonnenfeld, put out a statement giving us a look into Will Smith on set. He told a story, okay, that one time on set, Will Smith cleared out a soundstage for 3 hours because he farted and it smelt really bad. Apparently, that's a true story. They cleared it out for 3 hours. Yeah. That's insane.
That's insane. Like a whole soundstage, like those things are massive.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and
what
Men in Black too. It's like,
fuck, like Will Smith. He's like gassing out everyone.
Yeah. They were willing to like lose a couple $1,000 just to go outside for a couple hours after that. That's hilarious.
Wow.
Okay, that's it for the news this week. Should we move on over to our, what do we call it? Our feature presentation? Boom, boom, boom.
Our feature presentation number 1.
It's a double feature tonight.
It's a double feature tonight because we're just like, hey, we've seen plenty of films since we took a 2-month hiatus.
We have.
And I've watched I've watched 5 films this week at like the cinema. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I've seen a lot of films. I've seen a lot of films this week. It's been an insane week for me. But on tonight's podcast, we are going to start talking about Alien Romulus. Here's a clip for that now.
Whatever comes, we'll face it together.
Let's go.
Impact event in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So yes, we are back in the Alien franchise yet again, and this time Ridley Scott is not directing or writing. He was just a producer for this one. So basically, the events of this film is while scavenging the deep ends of the Jarlath space station, a group of young space colonists come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. Directed by Fade Alvarez, written by Fade Alvarez, Rodo Sergris, and Dan O'Bannon. I hope I said that all right.
You're struggling on that. Do you say Fade Alvarez? I think it's Fade.
Fade?
Fade Alvarez. I think it's Fade.
Fade, okay.
Like, we'll have to clarify that. Hey, we'll get our producers to clarify that.
We'll get our producers to clarify that, yeah.
Yeah, so spoilers for Alien Romulus. We're going to get straight into that. If you haven't seen it already and you're an Alien
spoilers.
fan,
Spoiler button.
Check it out. Sure. We need to just press that at the start and be like, spoilers. People know what they're getting into.
Yeah, they know what they're getting into. It's a film podcast.
Yeah, Alien Romulus. Okay, going into this, I was incredibly excited. The trailers for this film that we saw, like a year ago now, were like really enticing. It was leaning into the horror elements. A lot of it looked straight out of the original Alien film. The set design looked as good as ever. Like we're using practical suits and practical facehuggers and all sorts of stuff for visual reference. So I was all in from the get-go. And then I sat down to watch it. And about 75% of it, I was like, you know what, this is really cool. And then there was like 25% of the film in kind of all of the areas where I was like, I was kind of like indifferent about or hung up on. I don't know if there's anything that's truly terrible in this film. There's just a lot of stuff I wish they did differently. I don't know. How do you feel about this? How do you feel going into it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The same thing going about it. Well, it's been a while now since we've had a proper like horror themed Alien film. Well, since the, I suppose, original, you could say.
Yeah.
Because I know, like with Alien 3, they try to do it again and everything like that, but it didn't work out really the same. And so it was like, all right, a new guy's doing it. Ridley Scott's no longer really part of this and stuff. Like he was just there to to be a producer for it and stuff like that, and showed up to set like one day apparently. So I was like, all right, like Fede Alvarez, he obviously did the reboot of the Evil Dead franchise and Don't Breathe, which is like an amazing film. Like Don't Breathe, like that still holds up. That's really scary, that one.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like looking forward to it, all the practical stuff back again. And it was just kind of like interesting going through it. You had all the cheap horrors. They actually made face huggers scary for once. That was like the one big take
real.
I have from this film and everything like that is that even the face huggers, even before everything goes down, are the most like terrifying things. And then obviously the alien happens, and then the whole third act, which is a whole thing. That's where it kind of lost me. That's where it kind of lost me.
Yeah. The one thing that I really enjoyed a lot more than most people that have seen this film is the whole start on the planet. Yeah. Where we're seeing a lot of like the human side and just the non-alien stuff. We see a lot of how the company works and just the day-to-day lives of the Weyland-Yutani guys. That was really cool to see. It was like, because we got hints at that in like Aliens, the sequel, where they're like on a colony planet, but everyone's dead at that point. So this was really cool. Just a bunch of stuff without the alien, but that goes for like nearly 40 minutes. It's a lot of they're on this planet talking. And then they get up to the space station, which is still really freaking cool. At this point, when they go to the derelict space station, I'm just all in. This is the greatest alien film ever. I'm just like loving every moment of this. They go in the space station. Okay, all right, let's get into the characters of this film before we just geek out over the like set design.
Yes.
It's a group of people. Can you remember any of their names?
I can remember Andy and Rain.
Yep, exactly. Those are the only ones that you need to care about, which is unfortunately one of the downfalls of this film, is that you know that these are the people that are going to live in this film. You know that everyone else is going to die. The trailers gave away some of the deaths, unfortunately. And then, everyone that's not those two characters that we can remember, forget about them. They're just cannon fodder. They're one-sided as hell. But that's very reminiscent of, like, alien films, so I was willing to forgive these one-note characters, considering I knew they were going to die. But the main two are really cool. Why don't we get into those, Barry? What do you think of the new android?
Yeah, so basically my favorite character out of this entire film was Andy, portrayed by David Johnson. He is absolutely phenomenal. This is probably like, I always loved the androids of the Alien franchise. It's like the one reason why I did like watch like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and the one reason I did like those films was because of Michael Fassbender's performance in them. I always think he did an exceptional job being like this rogue like AI and stuff like that. And then like, again, they got like an absolutely amazing person or amazing actor to come in and be like, all right, you're going to play as Andy, who in this film, he starts off as like, he's defective. He's like the first generation of the like worker androids that Weyland and Yutani Corporation built, and he's like diagnostics and that are all like crumbling down and everything like that because he's an old unit type thing. And then we have when they go up to the space station and everything like that, he then changes his personality because of events that happen and stuff like that, and it's this whole another like new character now. And
it's so
the
cool.
actor to like pull that off and the way he did it as well was just like, wow, like that was like so cool to see like these two vast different characters that had depth to them in both of them portrayed by the same person, which was really cool to see.
No, that was so good. So let's talk about those events that lead to him switching personalities, because that was one of my favorite parts of the film. A couple of the main dudes have to sneak into this like section of the space station in order to get like cryo fuel so that they can freeze themselves and escape to this planet that they've heard rumors about, and they're going to fly away to this mystical land where everything's cool. So in order to do that, they have to enter this research lab, which has like 3 feet worth of like water along the floor and these little frozen like freezer packets lining the walls, and you don't know what's in them at first. But when they start taking the cryo fuel, the temperature of the room starts dropping, and all of these little freezer packets open, and all of a sudden there's about 300 facehuggers in the water with them. And that's just the coolest setup ever to just introducing the aliens again. Put the little ones in the water. It's really freaking cool. And surprisingly, no one gets like eaten by the facehuggers in the water. They somehow manage to like escape
that.
But in doing so, it leads to the robot guy having to put a new chip in, switching personalities. But yeah, this one scene with the facehuggers kind of just made the film for me because I just love that so much.
Oh yeah, yep. It's just like the sheer amount of them, like amount of facehuggers that you did see and everything like that. And it was just like them like actually thinking in the water on how to take down the people to trip them, so they actually could get an advantage on top of the people to actually like attach onto. Was also like a genius thing before, because in other like obviously alien films and everything like that, we always just saw they would just go for the attack. Where in this, it was actually like, no, they thought to like trip him and everything like that to bring him down a bit more. And it was just like, that's kind of spooky. Like we haven't seen like sentient facehuggers before.
Not really. It was really cool. The facehuggers were really smart in this film, and the regular aliens were not. But we will get into that as well. So from then, it leads to them basically scattered across the space station. They have to cross it to get to a hangar bay where their ship has crashed into. That's not really that important. That's just we have to go through the aliens.
Plot point.
That's fine. It's Alien. We know that that's going to happen. Everything goes wrong, and then they have to just face insurmountable odds to get to something that's safe, and it's never safe. It's just Alien.
That's Alien.
So on the way, there's like 400 aliens in this place because there's one of them broke out and laid a nest. I think I can't quite remember.
Yeah, it was basically
that.
The events that set up this film before the actual beginning is
that's right. Yeah.
At the end of the original Alien film, the 1979 one,
Yep.
Basically, that one that got sent out into space. Wayland and Yutani found that one in space, floating in space, or whatever. They bring it in to do their experiments and stuff like that. And then that one obviously got loose on the space station, and that's the reason why everything went to shit. And obviously, like, had other like face huggers and aliens and all that type of stuff for the face huggers to be there and all the other aliens to be there, and because all like the people on the space station are dead, type thing already.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Classic little horror setup. I love it. Then there's kind of like 40 minutes in the middle of the movie that are kind of forgettable. Considering
it's a lot of they crashed the ship and then they're like, oh, we have to go to the opposite side of the ship now to get in there. And then you got the sister or whatever was just like, oh, like now how do I escape type thing. And like the other guy is there, the reason they caused the ship to crash, and because he was leading because Andy went full psycho trying to like kill the person that got the egg on the face and everything like that. Cause he's like, you got to contain it. And he obviously didn't want to listen. That was like his partner or whatever. And then obviously Chestburster comes out, you have the alien, blah, 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 blah. Stuff happens. Yeah. All those characters die, like instantly type thing.
They don't last long at all.
No.
No. That's one of my favorite things of the original Alien film, is that all of the characters last long enough for you to not be sure, like, who's going to die next. You know people will die going into it, but you're not sure, like, what's going to happen next. Whereas this one, everybody starts dying off within like 10 minutes of each other. It's like a 10-minute span where like 6 characters die. It kind of loses its impact. But again, we already knew that because the trailers spoiled off a lot of those deaths.
Which was really annoying.
Yeah.
So
bit annoying, but it gave us some really cool moments, like the X-ray showing the facehugger on the face, the chest burster, bursting out. That was gross.
Yep.
Very cool. Incredibly gross. So they make it to the other side of the ship. There's a bunch of aliens. They shoot them a lot. They're not smart at all. They just kind of get shot.
Yeah, they just come charging at them. There's a whole scene where they have to walk through like facehugger territory in like the cold.
Oh, that's right.
And everything like that, because they see obviously heat and stuff like that. So like, walk through the cold. No, walk through the heat. Well, that's right. They raise the temperature.
They turn up the temperature, to match their bodies.
Match the bodies.
I like that.
Like there was a lot of like unique things that obviously like Fede Alvarez doing horror films before and everything. You could see like his own personality like going into a couple of these scenes and stuff like that to like reinvent it all and stuff like that, and not just like the typical like, oh, that's gonna die again, that person's gonna die again.
Yeah,
there's like its own unique like way of dying and stuff like that, which was quite cool.
It was. I liked that element of it. The horror aspects were really cool when it was working. But the aliens kind of got really dumbed down when there's just a lot of them, and you kind of don't really have a choice other than turning it into an action film. Yeah. But you know, it was still cool to see aliens getting shot. I'm never gonna get tired of that.
Yeah, in Zero G well. Like remember the gravity
that's what
turns
made it
off?
cool. Yeah, I liked that. I thought that was a clever little thing.
Yeah.
Even though after that the aliens just again keep getting chances to kill the hero and just don't, and you get all of these moments of like, oh my god, you could have died. These aliens are stupid. There's a lot of that. Again, whatever. I can look past that because it's still a really good movie. And then this is where the film takes like wacky change, because along their way across the station, they pick up this weird magical black goo in a
which
syringe.
Which is the goo from Prometheus.
Is the goo from Prometheus that I did not remember because I've seen Prometheus once and I couldn't tell you anything in that film.
Yeah.
So take that aside. I was like, what is this thing?
The beginning of all life goo.
They're using it to evolve rats, but the rats just kind of mutate and die. So it doesn't know. But along the way, one of the girls who is conveniently pregnant, for plot's sake, gets injected by the goo because she's dying, and the main character is like, oh no, this can save you. I saw it save a rat. But it didn't save the rat. The rat mutated and died. But it's seemingly working on the pregnant lady until it's not. Barry, why don't you explain what happens next? Because this was just wacky as all hell.
Oh, yeah. So basically what ended up happening, she ended up giving birth to, well, I suppose like Fade Alvarez's like new version of like a meta-human of alien and like human off-breath. And this is the thing, like there was concept art, and I know they try to do it in like past alien films and everything like that before, and it just has never worked out. And stuff like that, and they're like, let's try it again. And then we have the offspring, as apparently is what it's called in the movie. So basically the girl that was pregnant, she gives birth to it and everything like that. It is the most deformed, strangest looking thing ever. Apparently they got a real person to like put on makeup and everything like that. It's a basketball player, a Russian basketball player they got to do it, which is like, oh, that's pretty cool. But it was just so just like, what the fuck? He ends up then killing the pregnant lady and stuff like that, and then it's up to Rain to kill it essentially in the little shuttle ship, and that's a whole thing. She sucks it out to space, much like Sigourney Weaver in the first one and everything like that. Has a little jump scare moment where everything's come crashing down, and then she's just and this brings us to like probably the worst visual effects part I remember of the film, where she's just floating in space. That was, it's like, okay. Like, I still understand, like, why, because it was obviously a smaller budget for this and everything like that, and they put everything into the practical side. But it was just like that one shot. I was like, oh, yeah, that looked pretty bad.
There was a couple moments of just really bad CGI. But again, I was okay with it. But I'm like, you know what, whatever, I'll give it a pass. Because when they look at everything else that they built for real, it is the coolest looking sets ever.
Oh, yes.
Like, dream quality of practical set. So, you know, that kind of elevates it more than the shitty CGI. Yeah. But, we do have to take some points off because it could have been better. But it was really cool. And again, that little guy at the end, I'm calling him the little guy. He was not little. He was like 9 feet tall, pale ass with this wacky looking tail. Yeah, deformed little alien human guy. I kind of like really enjoyed. I know that some people didn't like it at all. I kind of loved just how unexpected it was. I don't think anyone picked them doing that.
No.
Like, that was nuts.
I was not.
And it was terrifying.
Yeah.
The first scene where you see him and he's just standing there in a hallway, like, on all fours, looking like some weird dog in the dark. I was like, what? Like, genuinely, like, scared me. I was like, what the hell is that thing? But yeah, then it just kind of becomes this mindless alien that just, again, dies the same way the one in the first movie does.
Yeah.
Kind of a letdown, but it's also like, what else could you have done at that point? You want to set it up so the hero lives. Sure, you're gonna do the first movie ending again.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And the ending for it was just like, okay, like, yeah, we're going back doing the same thing. They get away, and that's really it. Where it's just like, they could have done a little bit something different, because that's another thing as well. This film is just such an homage to the original Alien film. Everything from cheesy pickup lines that they do and stuff like that. And they even got Ian Holmes, like facial, like AI reconstruction and stuff like that, because he's playing as Rook in this one, instead of Bishop. And they were just like, oh, it's just like another version character. And I'm just like, you could have gone with like just gotten another like AI robot type thing. You didn't have to get Ian Holmes again. And there was a lot of those tiny things. I was like paying homage to the originals, and I was like, you didn't really have to do that.
Not really. I felt they were cool. Again, there's those moments where it's like, you know what, it's not needed, but it's kind of cool. It felt like when The Force Awakens made a joke about something that we saw in A New Hope. They joke about the Millennium Falcon being a pile of trash. It's that sort of moment where it's clearly just like a callback. It's cool. If this movie was like not as good as it was, those would be terrible.
Yeah.
But because the movie was like fairly decent, I was like, yeah, sure, let's live with it. Let's have some fun. I think that kind of brings us to the end of our Alien Romulus discussion. Barry, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's really about it. Like, this is still definitely in like my top 3 Alien films now.
Not that that's hard.
Yeah. But still, like, you still had like obviously Prometheus and Alien Covenant and all those ones and stuff like that. And I suppose if you count on Alien versus Predator, this is still such an amazing like Alien film. And I really hope that they continue the Alien franchise in this direction now, because obviously we had for like Predator, we had Prey last year or a couple of years ago now and everything like that. And the director who did that is doing a new one at the moment, or has filmed a new one, which is expected to come out next year. And he's also meant to be doing a sequel to Prey as well. And I know Fede Alvarez, you mentioned once to me that him and the guy that did the Prey film, like, want to team up and do a film together.
Yeah. They want to make like an Alien vs Predator, and that's awesome.
That would be
Prey
cool.
and Romulus are very good modern iterations of those films. So yes, 100%, give them that money right now.
Yeah, no, that would honestly be cool to see. But yeah, it was just really like the characters and everything like that. Like, you don't remember them as much as like the original crew of the Nostromo and stuff like that. It was very much just like generic main female character here. She's going to live. And like, you obviously know that from the beginning straight away. And it was like the only like cool character was, like I said, Andy and everything like that. But that was because like of the way that actor was like portraying things and then like changing halfway to become like the bad guy in a way and stuff like that, and using everything against him and stuff. Like, they had new protocols now, and then like changing him back again to being like simple old Andy. It was like, that was really cool to actually see that actor do that. And also he had like, I reckon, like more character development than any of the other characters.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely, it's got those moments that are really great, and it's got those moments that are pretty and the characters are part of the but luckily the film spends more time on the parts that are good than the parts that are Like, the characters die off really quick. Throws you into just the atmosphere of the space station really, really quickly. And just, I love that. So I guess final thoughts and ratings. I'm probably sitting on a 7 out of 10 for Alien Romulus. I think it's good. I think it's, top 3 Alien films below the first 2. In the order that they came out. 1, 2, and then Romulus.
Yes.
And then the rest of the films, and then Resurrection. But, So it's really good. Set design's amazing. Some of the performances are really good. The android was amazing. It's just a complete standout, head over heels above everyone else. CGI, good in spots, bad in others. The storyline, simple, yet all, full of enough new ideas to keep you interested and keep you guessing. And then just a couple moments that completely throw everything on its head, throwing just the most unexpected thing at you. And for the most part, that worked. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for me.
Nice. I actually didn't give my rating, so yeah, mine would also be 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, 7 and 7. I feel like that's fair. Definitely go check it out. If you're an Alien fan, I definitely would say go watch it. Like, don't miss it.
Yep. And that's the thing, because I'm looking forward to like seeing what they do next now for the franchise after this one. Because there is a show coming out next year called Alien Earth. This is like the prequel to like for everything. Timothy Olyphant apparently is in it. I was just like, fuck yeah, like that's gonna be great now because it's got him. So I'm looking forward to that, but I think that's gonna follow like the same type of thing they were trying to do with Alien Covenant and Prometheus and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't know if that's gonna work well, but we'll see what happens when it comes out.
Yeah, wacky. All right, well, that's it for the first half of today's podcast. The second half, we're going to go talk about another sequel to a film that we loved, we enjoyed.
Yes, we did.
This is Joker Folie Deux, the Joker 2, everyone. He's back.
Yeah,
this time he's
back.
Singing.
Whoa.
That's the tagline for the film, right?
Yeah, I got a clip if you want to play a clip.
Go for it.
All right.
I got the sneaking suspicion that we're not giving the people what they want.
It's okay, baby. Let's give the people what they want.
So yes, we're back with Joker again. He got a sequel film, which straight off the board, I'm already going to say it, this is probably one of the worst sequels I've ever seen.
Okay, you say that, but this is also one of the most fun experiences I've had in a theater because I was laughing at this movie just the whole way through. Not because it was funny, but because it was just stupid. Like start to finish.
Yep.
It was just so stupid and I loved it.
It's like fair enough.
Yeah. That's Joker Folie Deux. He's singing.
That's Joker Folie Deux. He's singing.
Yeah, okay. So I don't even know where to start in this film. Like, oh, I'm hearing myself twice, Barry. What are you doing? Stop messing with shit. What have you? I gotta leave. I have to edit shit out now. God, he's making me do work. Maybe I'll keep it in now. Barry, fix your computer. I can't hear you now. I can only hear myself.
Oh, are we back? Is it working?
Yeah, you're back. You're good.
Yep.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay. So Joker 2, now that we're back, I will cut that out. No.
Everything just crashed and I was like, what the fuck?
That was weird. Anyway, okay, so yeah, Joker 2, this time he's back and it's a musical courtroom drama. With little to no action, little to no character development, and a bunch of songs that don't fit what's happening in the scene. That's Joker 2.
That is Joker 2.
That's all literally the entirety of Joker 2. It is no more deep than that.
The entirety of the story can basically be explained like in the first 30 seconds when they have the little cool animation part, and that's all you need to watch from this film.
Yeah, I kind of like... I liked the little animation thing. I just felt like it didn't fit. Like, it was just weird. It was there for no reason.
There was a lot of things in this film was just like, why is this film even made in the first place? Oh, because everyone got paid like just super high amounts of money because the first one made over $1 billion, and they're just like, make a film. We'll give you $20 million to make it, Todd Phillips. And then, of course, when you get given $20 million, you're saying yes. Even though it's going to be the most shit thing ever.
I feel like they had lots of fun making this film. The musical element alone would have just been like, just really fun to do. But it led to them just kind of going nuts with it and not really doing anything. So the entire like plot of this film is he's in prison because he shot like 6 people in the first film. So now he's in prison. He's not like a supervillain. He's just a regular dude. So he's not gonna break out or anything.
He's back as Arthur again.
Yeah, he's back, and he's just kind of depressed because he's in prison and he's about to go to trial. So they bring him to trial, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna kill him. He has a death penalty, and then oh no, he's back in prison. And then he gets stabbed to death in a hallway. That's the entire film. There you go. I just saved you $20.
Yep. And then for some reason, I don't know like why, but they
Lady
were just
Gaga's
like,
in it too.
oh, let's add Lady Gaga into this, and we'll only get her
she can
to
sing.
do the singing parts, and that's it.
Because that's what she does. She's a singer. We'll get her to sing. We'll put musical moments.
Is it in her like
got Lady Gaga.
contract or something when she has to be in a film, she has to sing for her film?
That's not true. Did she sing in House of Gucci? I don't think she did.
Was she in that? Oh.
She was in that. Yeah, she was like one of the main ladies in that, I think. I don't know.
I haven't seen House of Gucci.
Yeah, no, you're not missing much. But you know what? You also were not missing much of this film. So
no, definitely
there
not.
There you go. Okay, so let's talk about the musical moments because that's like the main talking point of this film is like, why is this a musical? This is crazy. It's a musical. It was the thing that hooked me into wanting to see it. Where they're like, Joker 2's a musical. I'm in. Like, I'm there. I'm buying tickets. That was like, I'm in. I don't know what this means, but I'm in. And so it's more of a jukebox musical. All the songs they sing are like hits of the 50s, 60s. Some of them are from musicals. Some of them are popular music. None of them fit the scenes that they're in. They're all in Arthur's head. Lady Gaga's also there because she's in love with the Joker. What did you feel about the musical element of this film first?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's just like that was the big hook because I adored like the first film and stuff like that. Like I saw it like 7 times at the cinemas and everything like that. It was just like such a cool homage to like Taxi Driver and everything like that. It's so funny because originally they actually wanted to get Martin Scorsese to direct the first Joker and stuff like that for it. I was like, that would have been like even more interesting if that happened.
That would have been crazy.
And then they were like, oh yeah, we are doing a sequel and it's going to be a musical. We have Lady Gaga. I was like, okay, like we kind of like were unexpected with the first one. A lot of people didn't expect it to be as big and as popular as it did get, especially a film just solely about Joker himself and everything like that.
Yeah, totally.
And so I was like, all right, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and hopefully they'll do well. And then it came out and it was like, and the musical parts to it, like at times, it just wasn't fitting with the story whatsoever. It literally felt like they were trying to do multiple different things in this film, and it just resulted in a mess of things. Even so much so that they were like trying to contradict points that was like really cool in the first film, and they were just like, oh, he's just a normal guy, and he's just a psycho, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like they were in there to extend the runtime. This is a 2.5 hour movie too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
This is a lot of nothing happening.
Yes.
Like an insane amount of nothing happening to sit through.
Just him laughing out in the rain for like 5 minutes. That did happen.
But yeah, no, the musicals, I liked them because they didn't work. I was like, this is stupid. Why did they do this? I love it. Which is not a good thing. Yeah. But, I enjoyed that. Everything in between I felt was just so goddamn pointless.
Yeah.
There were cool characters and cool moments. One of my favorites was the main police officer dude that he interacts with. I forget his name, but he was in like Banshees.
Brendan Gleeson?
Yeah, that guy, Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah.
Good actor. Kills it with his performance. Him and Joaquin Phoenix have some really good moments. There's some good chemistry between the two of them. Lady Gaga's very one-sided.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I kind of liked it. I'm like, there were like parts of her character that I liked and parts that I didn't. Her being sort of the complete opposite of Arthur was really cool. She was, like, obsessed with the Joker. I loved that. I wish they explored that instead of doing absolutely nothing with that. She's in this film for like 30 minutes, I think. Every time she shows up, she's like, oh my god, the Joker, and then leaves. And at the end, she's like, oh, you're not the Joker, and leaves. She's pointless. She has no, like, reason to be in this film. If you took her out of this film, it's the same film, except he doesn't sing. So arguably, it's a better film.
Oh, yes.
But no, she gave it her all. When she was there, I did enjoy seeing her. She's a great singer, so she helped with the musical moments, that's for sure. Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, it's more of the same. It's just less compelling because what's happening to him and what he's doing is just pointless. Yeah. It's like, cool, he's doing this for no reason, or it's like, whatever you do, this other thing's gonna happen. So they did missed that, like, unexpectedness that the first movie had, whereas this one's just kind of, you know what's happening start to finish. Yep. Until it does stupid shit, which we will get to when we talk about the ending. I feel like I'm yapping too much about this movie. Barry, who are some of your favorite characters in this film? Talk about some people we haven't mentioned yet.
People we didn't mention. Who didn't we mention?
What about Gary Puddles?
Gary Puddles. I love Gary from the first one. He was great. You know, coming in. Sophie Dumont, Zazie Beetz' character, she returned for this. I wasn't expecting that.
She was in it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. But like I didn't know she was gonna be back because there was like a thing. She was like, they're filming a second one. I didn't know about that. So I was like, she's not in it. Like, okay. But she was. We also had was it Paddy Mayers, like an interview guy, like having an interview with him in one scene.
Yeah. He was in it.
Yeah, played by Steve Coogan and stuff like that. And then we had like his lawyer and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He was there. And then like a couple of just other people, like the people he was at prison with and everything like that. But yeah, obviously that the biggest standout was probably the side characters was like Brendan Gleeson, which was like the big cop guy and the reason like got him into the singing and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just a lot of like really about nothing, I suppose. Like there was no like cool moments even with Arthur Fleck's character and stuff like that. Like nothing really happened with him. He was just there to serve as like the plot point for things, and all these characters were like kind of attached to him, where like they could have like done some cool stuff with like Lady Gaga's like version of Harley Quinn. It was kind of funny though because they call her Lee instead of Harley and stuff like that. I was like, for fuck's sake, come on.
Whatever. They want to be different. Sure, whatever. It's a musical Joker film.
It's a musical.
I'm gonna let them be different, but I will say there was one point in this film that I was actually like, oh shit, they're actually going to do something. This is going to be a huge turning point. And it's the moment where Arthur in court decides that he's going to represent himself by firing his lawyer.
That's right.
And everything ramps up for about 2 minutes. And I'm like, oh shit, they're actually like stepping this up. This is going to be really cool. This is similar to like the first film where Joker shoots someone for like the first time and it becomes this huge turning point where the world just kind of starts falling apart around him. I thought this was kind of what was going to happen, and then that's never brought up again. Like nothing matters. Nope. It's so stupid. It's just, it's gone. Forget about it. Don't worry. It was not important. And I'm like, you serious? Like that could have made a really cool film if we we go nuts like the first film did, but instead it's nothing happens. And also, a bomb goes off too.
That's right. The bomb goes off.
Reason. That's never explained, is it? Did they say who did that?
No, it's the two guys that he got away with in the car and stuff like that. Yeah, because they're like, oh, the bomb went off. That was like planned. I'm pretty sure they said that when they're driving away.
I thought they said someone blew it up. Like they were a little questioning of it because they were kind of stumbling around, like not knowing what's happening.
Well, no, the car guy was like waiting in the car for them.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a terrible plan if your plan is to blow up the building that the guy is in that you want to rescue, because everyone else died. That was around him. I swear I remember them being like, someone blew it all up. Someone's like, the city's going to burn.
I thought
let's get you out of here. Sort of.
Okay.
I don't think they did, but I'm not sure. I don't want to rewatch it to find out. So if anyone sees it, can you let us know? Because I don't want to watch it again. But Yeah, he gets rescued by those ghosts, and that was another cool moment. I'm like, oh, this is leading to something. Like, he's responsible for all this death and destruction. They're going to explore that, and they're going to make him sort of like regret his actions and go through this sort of change of heart, maybe? No. He goes to see Lady Gaga on the stairs, and she's like, dude, you're not cool anymore. And then she walks off, and then he gets arrested.
And then he's back in Arkham again.
Yeah, what happens next, Barry? Why don't you explain the...
Oh, yeah, the ending.
That's the end of the movie.
So basically, like, he's back in Arkham and stuff like that. Then apparently he has a visitor. And I was like, who is that visitor? That would have been, like, interesting. We don't know. But basically, on his way there, he gets stabbed by another inmate who's just like, have you heard of a blah, 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 the same type of joke he did at the end of the first film. Ends up stabbing and killing Arthur, and then does the whole homage, well, basically homage to Heath Ledger's Joker, and starts cutting his mouth open with a blade. And it was just like, okay, cool. And then we have Arthur just slowly bleeding out and dies. Like, that's it.
That was such a terribly forced ending. That felt like they got to that scene, they filmed it in chronological order. They got to that scene and they're like, oh shit, we haven't actually written an ending to this movie. Let's quickly go film 2 shots of this one guy looking at him from across a room, and then we'll have him kill him at the end for no reason. Other than he's crazy. And then no explanation, the film ends, that's it, it's cool. That was 2.5 hours that was just kind of really pointless. It was relatively pretty. It had some cool moments. Oh my god, that ending. That was... Why?
Yeah. I don't know why either.
I don't get it.
It was just like... I don't know, maybe like Todd Phillips, when he was like writing this, he was just like, all right, I got $20 million and I don't want to have to do this again, so I'm going to kill this character somehow, some way. All right, you know what I can do? I'll just get him shanked.
Okay. It's so wacky. I don't get it, man. It feels like... Because, apparently pre-production of this film, they were throwing out and rewriting the script a whole lot.
Yeah. Because I know the producers were on them a lot more with the sequel.
Yeah.
This one. And stuff like that, and had their hand in it a lot more and stuff like that. And this is another thing as well. Because this is like, it was also being developed prior to James Gunn stepping in at things at DC now and everything, like, because I think now like everything needs to be approved by him type thing, even the offshoot stuff and everything. So this is like kind of one of those things that didn't. Still was like in that transitioning period of things. And that's the thing, because at the end of the day, it's still like, it's shot really well. They got Lawrence Sher to like come back and do the cinematography for it again. Like, it all looks and feels the same as the first one. And then it was just, it was really the story and the character development was just like,
there was no character development.
Exactly.
That's the thing. No one changes in this film. Every character starts the film and ends the film the exact same. Literally every character. There's not one character that isn't in a different position other than Arthur, because he's dead. But he didn't change. He's just dead. It's like... What was this movie trying to say? Nothing. I don't know. Don't piss off prison people? Is that the message of this film? I don't know.
I don't know.
What's going on?
It was just... Why?
I don't know, dude. But yeah, it was really funny to laugh at in the cinema. And I'm so sorry for anyone who worked on that film. If by some random chance they listen to this at some point, I'm sure you guys had lots of fun making it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it exists. You know, cool. Go for it. Go something wacky. Do some wacky ideas. Make it a musical. That's the coolest idea for a sequel ever. It's just a
and that's the thing.
musical.
That would have been really cool if they did that like more. And they based that around like a lot more, like the musical element, and actually like brought that all in and everything a lot more.
Well, you know,
it just didn't really tie in at all.
To the scene. Like,
exactly,
you know,
that too.
Sing about what's happening. Not just a random song from the 50s that they have the rights to that doesn't fit anything that's happening. He's like, I'm dying. And then he just starts singing like Frank Sinatra for no reason.
Yeah,
it's like,
and
this doesn't really work.
The actor that stabs him at the end on IMDb, they've got him listed as young inmate.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so stupid. Should we final thoughts and ratings, Joker 2, and then get out of here?
Yeah. So I suppose final thoughts. It was just like beautiful looking film again. Like Lawrence Sher, anytime I see him like DPing a film, like it's always got to look like really good. But it was just, the story really let us down this time around, and it could have been really an interesting idea. And it was just like such an amazing concept to be when they first announced, like doing a musical, being like, wow, like they're actually going to go like full wacky with it. But it was just like nothing happened. This is a film literally about nothing, but like not in a good way, because there has been films in the past done by other filmmakers and everything like that that's literally about nothing, and it's just so like amazing and everything like that. Where this is just like, what was the point of all this? And it just feels like the biggest like cash grab ever. Because since the first one made $1 billion, they were just like, we got to continue it somehow. Like, come on, like hurry up and give us another one type thing. And this felt like a mess of things. Like, I'm not sure if maybe there is like another version Todd Phillips maybe wanted to do with this and something like that.
No.
Like he might have had like his own like director's cut a bit more or something like that, or was this like heavily involved by the producers this time around because it was a lot more money, because they had $200 million compared to like the first one, which was like done on like half that, not even.
Yeah. Very crazy. Okay.
Very crazy. But I'm giving this a 2 out of 10.
Oh my lord. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm looking
I will not be watching this film again.
Yeah, I probably won't either, but it's also like I haven't rewatched the first Joker film, so don't take that as any point of standing. But all of the critic and audience reviews are sitting on like 3 or 4 out of 10. So I think I'm sitting on a 4 out of 10 for this film. I loved just like how bad it was. I was laughing at the stupidity of this movie the whole way through, while wishing that it was better. Yeah, because it's very unfortunate. But I had a lot of fun laughing at it. That's kind of all the enjoyment you might get out of this film. I don't know. I'm sure the stills look really good. This would be a great like stills film. That's cool.
Yeah, like some of the shots and everything they do, especially in like the musical moments, look really cool and everything like that. Like that was cool. how they did it all. But it was just like, and this is the thing with a lot of the films that you find us that we have talked on podcasts before that we really don't like. It comes down to the story. And that's still like a lot of things and stuff like that. You can have like a budget of like $20,000. If the story is absolutely amazing, everyone's going to love it type thing. And that's the reason why you do get a lot of these indie films that have a small budget end up becoming big things. Like the first one and everything like that, because the story is just so great. The characters development is just so great and everything like that, that people kind of surpass a lot of like the bigger things and stuff like that. Where this film was like what happened to all that? Like, where was the actual like where was like the heart of the first one? Like, it was just completely gone. So
I mean, if you compare that to the film that you watched the day before, He Ain't Heavy, like, really excited, character heart driven, that was done on 1/100th of the budget that Joker 2 had.
Yes,
and I'm so excited to see that. So don't go see Joker 2. Go see that instead when it comes out. I'm sitting on a 4 out of 10. Barry's on a 2 out of 10. I think we can end it by saying that the joke was actually just on us the entire time we watched that film.
Wow.
Maybe the real joke was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. All right. I'm ending it here. I'm ending the podcast. We'll see you in another 2 months.
Okay. Yeah, if you're lucky. Oh, God.
So thanks for coming back, everyone. I know we've been away for a while, but we'll try to get back on the regular schedule if we can. Make sure to hit that like button, all the stuff. Follow us, everyone, on all the social medias. And we will see you next time here on the We Talk Film Podcast. Thank y'all.
Bye, everyone. Maybe it'll be more like 3 months next time.
Maybe. We'll see.